The Demon Slayer power ranking system has always been a little bit weird to me. And so I've always thought about what would happen if another universe had those same abilities. And so I decided, hey, you know what? I've done what if Deku had Godspeed, what if Deku learned Thunder Breathing, so why not take the time out of my day and create what if Naruto learned Thunder Breathing? So I asked my artist to create me the picture for the thumbnail, and now here we are. That said though guys, I just want to give you guys a little bit of information that you guys might want to hear. Quickly, the rest of this entire story is already up on the channel if you are a member. So if you are a member, you're going to be getting early access to part 2 and hopefully part 3 as well, depending on, you know, how the timeline ends up working out for you. That said though, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys go on to enjoy the video, just like with any other video on YouTube, make sure to slap a like as it helps a ton with the YouTube algorithm. And with all that out of the way, enjoy.
Hey Ross, sauce it up.
Alright, so we start a story when Naruto turns 4 years old. At this age, his entire life would have pretty much been a little bit of pampering from Hiruzen and from the people in the Hokage Tower. He would have pretty much gotten used to that, so when he ends up turning 4 years old and Hiruzen ends up telling him about the fact that he now has to live on his own, Naruto turns into a completely different person, from how happy and go lucky and non-caring about things he was, to now being terrified of living alone in his very own house and being scared of the fact that he's now going to be sleeping in the dark by himself. Before, he used to have Hiruzen's maids and things like that take care of him anytime that he was afraid or even stay with him during the night, but now he has to stay alone. And he would have also been born with the red iconic Uzumaki hair this time around, but obviously that's only because I want the lightning thing to happen. Regardless though, pretty much what ends up happening is that as soon as he pretty much gets moved out, he pretty much is told by Hiruzen that he now has to start training to become a ninja. And well, Naruto doesn't really like that because it was never his dream at all to become a Hokage or to even become a ninja. He would proceed to start refusing, saying that he doesn't want to be a ninja and pretty much telling Hiruzen that if he becomes a ninja, he'll die. But eventually after Hiruzen tells him and assigns ninjas to pretty much keep Naruto from running away, Naruto has to pretty much stay. He can't run away from the village because he's just simply not strong enough. And eventually, after so many failed attempts, it would finally happen where he just decides that he's never gonna get out of this. So by the time that he's 10 years old, he finally just gets the message and would try to run away every now and then, but like it just doesn't work. He is forced to train every single day. And the thing that Naruto would be trained in are essentially the basics of ninjas. Now, Naruto would believe himself to be weak just due to the fact that he's surrounded by so many people that are so much stronger than him. So him having the ability of water walking and tree walking at this age doesn't impress him and doesn't seem impressive to him because of what everybody else can do. He's literally putting himself up against Hiruzen instead of the people of his own Genin Academy. Like if he was to realistically pick himself up against them, he would probably be the most powerful in the classroom. He would pretty much be forced to train with his chakra control, and it would be discovered from an insanely early age that Naruto actually has a very potent, like probably one of the most god-gifted lightning affinities ever, where it's just so easy to him. It's like natural, but it's something that he always refused to do, and for some reason he's never realized how truly talented he really is at it. And eventually, obviously, one day would come where he is struck by lightning because, you know, we do need that iconic Zenitsu hair and outfit, of course. But regardless of that, he would have to train every single day, and even until he's around the age of 13 and graduating, he would still have that iconic Zenitsu personality that we all love and hate at the same time. So around the time of the academy graduation day, Naruto would pass because he can do all the bare minimum things and he's actually a lot stronger than he lets on. So, you know, everybody kind of ends up passing, and he will kind of crap himself if he ends up encountering a high ranking ninja. Like if he sees any ninja, he will like get so terrified because he just doesn't acknowledge how strong he truly is, and he just thinks that he's just this weakling. Like because everybody in the academy tells him that. Even the ninjas that are watching over him, he's heard them saying that he's weak and that, you know, he only has lightning, and that's about it. And during those last couple of years, Hiruzen would notice that Naruto's like like not want to train would pretty much lead him to not be able to pretty much do anything. So eventually Hiruzen told him to just get good at one thing at the very least. And so Naruto began working on the, you know, on the lightning style, thunderclap and flash. Working on it every single day by himself. Nobody's teaching him, and he would have actually ended up developing his own breathing style just due to the fact that after so many times of just getting beat, eventually he had to master his breathing to the point where it almost was like easy and second nature to get flung and sent flying by the ninjas that he would be training with, and to keep his breath going, because sometimes he would begin hyperventilating. So that's pretty much how he's going to be learning the thunder breathing style. It's something that he's going to be developing on his own, and something that's just going to come inherently natural to his body. I know that's a little bit of a plot device that I'm going to be using, but just bear with me. It's just the very beginning of the series. Anyways though, so eventually the day of the graduation would come, and because he does pass, Mizuki doesn't offer him the opportunity of stealing the scroll. Instead, that is offered to another kid that actually is caught, and then Mizuki would be taken in by the authorities of Konoha. But after this, we pretty much just have Team 7 being assigned. And once Naruto finds out that he's actually going to be on the same team as Sakura, Naruto lunges at the opportunity. He's like, oh yeah! Like he is blatantly excited about the fact that he got teamed up with a girl. Like that's all he wanted. He didn't care what girl, but he wanted to be teamed up with one girl, like in general. When he was a kid, he still did end up having that situation that happened with Hinata, and her pretty much being saved by him just because, you know, something inside him told him to always protect women. So that's like pretty much the only time that he can ever actually step up and do something for himself. He of course won the fight and chased those kids off, and now Hinata has a crush on him forever, but you know, he's pretty much blatantly blind to it. And you know, he thinks that she's just friendly for some reason, but that's not even the case, bro. Like she clearly has the hots for you, bro. Do something about it. But regardless though, obviously he is a kid, so nothing really is gonna happen here. You know, those feelings from Hinata will always remain, and Naruto will just have this obsession of girls that would even sometimes happen to Hinata, which she would like, but she thinks that it's kind of like it happens to everybody, so she's not like that, like, oh, like he clearly likes me more than everybody else, you know what I mean? So it's like but you know, anyways, they would all graduate, and when Naruto finds out that Sakura is on his team, he would lunge and try to hug her, and she just punches him square in the face, and he's like, get off of me. And you know, Sasuke would look at him and be like, pathetic. Can't believe that you were ranked any high points near me at all. Like, look, you're such a loser, you're a coward. And you know, Naruto would feel bad about himself and begin crying, being like, why would you say that to me? You know what I mean? And eventually, you know what I mean, Iruka would calm him down, and eventually Kakashi comes into the classroom only to pick up his sorry squad, which is, you know, Sasuke, Sakura, and well, Naruto. And when he sees Naruto, he sees those blue eyes, he immediately thinks back to Minato and hopes that, you know, Naruto will be somewhat similar to that. And oh boy, is he absolutely wrong. His son is the biggest coward ever. He's never seen something quite as bad as this, but here it is in all of its full display, and you know, he now has to kind of deal with it. So yeah, but regardless though, what would end up happening is we essentially just get the scene where, you know, Sasuke gives his goal and Sakura would as well, with Naruto saying that his goal is to live another day, and that, you know, his dislikes is becoming a ninja. And Kakashi would ask him, why are you here? But Naruto would say that the old man forced him, and that he has no real choice. That, you know, he has to do this, because it's like, if he doesn't, then all the money that he would have put into training Naruto would have been gone to waste, and that all the years and time that he was training would have gone to waste as well. And that he doesn't want to disappoint the old man, but he's terrified of, you know, being a ninja. And Sasuke would look at Naruto and just like give him this look of just disdain, because it's like, what are you doing here? You're just gonna hold my squad back. Sakura would think it's kind of a sad story for Naruto and kind of like empathize with it a little bit, but in the end, because she sees Sasuke doesn't like Naruto, being the bandwagon she is, she would definitely decide to go on the I hate Naruto bandwagon train. And so this would be the beginning to a very iconic love-hate relationship between the entire Team 7, where Kakashi understands Naruto a bit, but he also was like, why are you here then? And Sasuke completely hates him, and Sakura's like, okay, I understand, but I still don't really like you that much. And that's kind of just the relationship dynamic that they have going on right now. But the next day during the bell test would happen, and what I see happening here is essentially Naruto doesn't rush in at Kakashi, and he actually goes to hide just like Sasuke would. Eventually, after remaining in the shadows for long enough and nobody even rushing Kakashi, Sasuke decides that it's up to him to take those bells. And so he goes in there and he tries to take the bells from Kakashi, but unfortunately he is a genin. So he's not even close to taking the bells from Kakashi, and he does impress him with the fire style jutsu, but that's pretty much about it. And Naruto would be watching Sasuke from the sidelines just being like, he's so awesome. Like, I wish I could be as cool as he is. And Sakura would be right next to him being like, are you ready, Naruto? And Naruto's like, no, you go ahead. And she rushes in, she's like, cha! But Kakashi gets her in a genjutsu, and then Sasuke is tied to the pole with Sakura being tied as well. Eventually, the day would come to a close where, Naruto's the only one with food since he never even attacked or anything. And Naruto would just be eating his lunch and eventually be looking at Sakura as he feels bad that, she doesn't get to eat. And he's like, I don't care if I'm sent back to the academy. I have to make sure that she's fed. You know what I mean? And so he gets up and starts feeding Sakura. And Sakura is like, please feed Sasuke. Naruto, after hearing that from her, he's like, I'll do whatever you want. And he rushes at Sasuke and begins feeding the food down his throat so unbelievably fast Sasuke almost chokes in very devious demonic way almost, where he's trying to choke Sasuke. And it's really funny, but Sakura's like, yo, chill. And he stops, and Sasuke gives him this death stare of bro, too much food. And Naruto then pretty much gets scared as Kakashi appears behind him, and he's like, you. And Naruto's like, I didn't mean to, I swear. Please, fail these two, not me. And Kakashi's like, you passed. And Naruto's like, wait, what? And then eventually Kakashi reveals that the true point of the exercise was teamwork, and that because he was willing to put himself under the bus in order to keep both of his teammates fed and able to continue on with what their current goal is, they all passed because of Naruto's unselfishness, right? And so Naruto smiles and he's like, oh, wow, great. And so following this, we pretty much end up jumping into 2 weeks worth of useless D-rank missions, which Naruto would love, by the way, because he knows that eventually he's going to have to go on hard missions, or so he's heard from the ninjas that have been training him all his life. And Naruto pretty much is pretty excited about the D-rank missions, but he's scared about how long these missions are going to finally go on for. So they would happen for about 2.5 weeks, just because since this time Naruto's not going to speak up, nor will Kakashi, they get an extra half week to pretty much just do whatever they want. And these 2-week range of missions, Naruto would be extremely proficient at. He would decide that these are the ones he's going to try his best on. And obviously because they're D-rank mission, they get paid $2 or something like that. It's really not that much. But, he gets paid something. And, Naruto decides to want to go out for ramen because it's still his favorite food. He still loves ramen. And Teiuchi still is one of the only people who kind of supports Naruto and tells him to do his best. Naruto's pretty thankful for that opportunity and for the fact that anybody whatsoever gives a damn about him. I apologize, guys, if you guys hear those police sirens in the background. I live in a very bad neighborhood. But anyways, I'm joking, by the way. But basically what ends up happening after this is finally the day would come when Kakashi requests a higher ranking mission, and Hiruzen would actually end up giving it to them, saying that with the team that he has on his squad, they should be able to complete this fairly simple C rank. And so Tazuna enters the room and immediately begins being drunk and just absolutely berating the entirety of Team 7, saying that they're garbage and that they're this and that. And nobody exactly here would be having a great time because it's bro, you're sitting here talking smack to the team. Nobody likes that. But it's whatever, you know what I mean? And pretty much what ends up happening here is we get a situation where Naruto was terrified of the next day because he knows that secret mission could serious things could still happen. He's heard it before, secret missions sometimes can be dangerous, but a part of him is okay, just bandits, that's all we'll encounter. And that's what he's hoping for. And eventually the day would come and Naruto would have all of his supplies on his backpack. He has the iconic Zenitsu outfit with the headband on his neck, and him pretty much just walking through, just kind of accepting things how they are. And eventually it would happen where pretty much they're walking and the demon brothers pretty much rush into them, and Kakashi would get killed in front of Naruto's eyes, right? And the second that Kakashi is killed, Naruto he passes out. Naruto loses consciousness. He immediately drops to the floor and he's like, look, you know what I mean? Like, Naruto is donezo's. That's it. Like, Naruto is done for. Is not coming back from that. But because Naruto pretty much is donezo's now, you know, it's up to pretty much Sasuke to try to defend against both demon brothers, since Naruto's too scared to react and he's just unconscious. Sasuke would hold one of the demon brothers off, and eventually another one of them would actually rush towards the direction of, well, the bridge builder. And Naruto would pretty much be laid out on the floor right in front of him. And as the demon brother comes in and his arm gets closer to actually stabbing Tazuna and Sakura is in the way, Naruto's like body would just move on its own. Naruto would grab a hold of his sword and just cut the entire hand of that demon brother off in a so fast of a motion that Sasuke and Sakura didn't catch it. But Kakashi sure did, and Naruto would remain on the ground until eventually, like, the demon brother jumps back, missing an entire, like, half an arm, and Kakashi finally takes them both down and begins to interrogate them about what they're doing here. Right? They reveal that they're here to capture Tazuna, and Kakashi would do what he has to do. He offs the demon brothers, leading to Naruto obviously still being unconscious and eventually having to be carried by Kakashi on his back. A couple of hours would pass and eventually Naruto would end up waking up, but he would wake up in a very, very late fashion. And eventually what ends up happening here is that Naruto essentially just kind of like wakes up right when they are encountered by Zabuza, because Kakashi wakes him up. But the second that Naruto is woken up and he sees Zabuza and he just sees like the sword and he can feel the presence of Zabuza there, Naruto begins to literally tremble with fear. And he's like, I knew it. I knew I would die today. Why? Why did this have to happen to me? Hiruzen, why? Why do I have to become a ninja? You know, he's freaking out. And Zabuza laughs at Kakashi and his squad members, saying that he's such a pathetic loser of a ninja, and that no ninja that he's ever encountered has trembled quite like him. He would revel in seeing Naruto in the state that he is in right now, and Naruto would pretty much look at Zabuza as, you know, he shoots a shadow clone at his direction, which Kakashi would stop. But because of this mere fact that the shadow clone rushed at him and said he's gonna kill him, Naruto immediately passes out. And he's just out. He's out like a light, and the dude is just like sitting there on the ground, dead passed out, while Kakashi says, team, I'll handle him. And eventually we get the iconic Kakashi versus Zabuza fight. One of the best fights in all of Naruto, might I add, because this is back when it was just taijutsu, basic ninjutsu, and subtlety when the fights were going on, and it's not like god level fights. You know, I kind of just miss those old days of the Naruto series. Regardless though, we do end up getting the point in time where Kakashi does actually get captured by Zabuza. And eventually Kakashi pretty much tells the team to get out of here, that he's not worth it, and that he doesn't want to see his Genin squad die, to essentially abandon the mission and like just try to save Tazuna, like to leave him behind, right? And Zabuza's watching this and he's like, ha ha ha, Kakashi, that's not gonna happen. He sends up 6 water clones towards the direction of the squad, and they immediately have one decision to make. Do they run? Do they stay? Like, what's going on? Naruto in the original would be there to try to back Sasuke up, and with his vow from the last battle would have been able to try to at least fight off these clones. But because he's not there, Sasuke is forced to rush in and have to fight off against one of these clones. But as this is happening, Naruto stands up and he's like looking down at the floor. It would be similar to the scene where Zenitsu finally uses his thunder breathing for the first time, and we basically just get the scene where Naruto clasps the hilt of his katana and he just literally blitzes at each and every single one of the clones, beheading them all in just such a fast rate that literally it looks as if lightning just like flash right in front of them. He's literally at Raikage levels of speed right now because he has the lightning cloak around him inadvertently, along with thunder breathing, as well as the fact that Naruto is using the lightning style thunder clap and flash, which he would use to completely behead Zabuza, mind you. His body would run on water and he would just bam, slash at the head of Zabuza as it falls clean off of his shoulders, and Haku would watch as Zabuza dies right in front of him. Now, Haku, watching from the bushes and from afar, would think that there's no way that that kid just did that. But Naruto then, is grabbed by Kakashi and taken back to the land as Haku comes flying in with full intent to kill Team 7, and Kakashi now has to face off against a full-powered Haku, with Sasuke being his support and Sasuke using fireball style jutsus to try to, help out in any way, shape, and form. Now keep in mind, Naruto's still on the ground passed out, and Kakashi would eventually be trapped in the ice mirror jutsu, with Sasuke trying to use the fire style to save him. But eventually, after watching Kakashi be tagged by so many Senbon, Sasuke would decide that he can't keep watching this, and the emotions inside of him would overwhelm him to the point where he activates the Sharingan inadvertently from despair of needing to be able to keep up with Haku's movements. Now Haku would be going absolutely berserk on Kakashi, and Kakashi would be literally stepping on death's door. But as this is all happening, Naruto would finally do something for the first time in this entire series. He immediately stands up once more, and as soon as he stands up, he just blitzes inside of the ice crystal mirror thing, and using the thunderclap and flash technique once again, he would ricochet himself off of the mirrors faster than Haku himself and slice straight through Haku's neck, leading Haku's head to fall straight on the ground, and Kakashi and Sasuke to have both bared witness to Naruto's absolute godlike speed, faster than even Kakashi himself, with Kakashi having to carry Naruto all the way back to Tazuna's house, and Sasuke just being shocked at the levels of speed that Naruto's able to pretty much let out. This would lead to a process of about 2 weeks worth of, Team 7 staying at Tazuna's house for Kakashi to recuperate, Naruto to finally wake up, and eventually them to ask Naruto what happened, with Naruto saying that he has no idea what they're talking about, and that if they want to play a prank on somebody, to play it on someone else, that he's not that fast and that they're joking. But Kakashi would tell Naruto that he is not joking, and because they don't have phones or anything to show him, he can't exactly prove it, right? So Naruto still goes on believing he's weak and not having the balls to do anything for himself, because it's nobody's there to kind of show him that he is OP, but it's he just continues not believing it. And so eventually the day would come where Gatsu's men arrive, and Team 7, because Naruto sees that these are just little bandits, he would decide that, okay, maybe he'll help out a little bit. So using his swordsman skills and a couple of shadow clones, all of Team 7 would be able to easily dismantle all of Gatsu's men, leading to the first W of Team 7's C rank mission being completed, and Team 7 obviously returning back to Konoha, where they would be rewarded handsomely for their efforts on the C rank mission. Once they arrive in the tower, they would all be compensated for the mission, and all's well that ends well.